Hello and welcome to a special edition of Too Long Didn't Read Dota News. I think we will call it the dose of drama. So this weekend, we have the start of a lot of lands coming at us. So just to remind you guys, there's the Beat Invitational and the Asus ROG Masters happening both this weekend. The week following that will be the Summit 6, and then after that, we'll see the finals for Dream League Season 6. Now, normally we would expect to see roster shuffling and, that kind of drama things happen after the major. But this year, not only is it not happening after the major or even after a series is done, we got roster shuffles in mid-series. So I am talking about Complexity. Last night they were playing in several games and we saw something unexpected happen. So to give a little history, Complexity have been struggling lately. They missed out on qualifying for the Summit 6, as well as yesterday they also failed to qualify for Dota Pit, getting knocked out in the lower bracket by NP. They did manage to qualify for the Boston Major, and we do expect to see them there. However, last night in the best of 5 grand finals up against NP to qualify for ESL 1 Genting, after 2 games in, Complexity say that Justin, who's in the team house with them, is experiencing connection to game coordinator issues and is unable to join their game, requiring Complexity to use a substitute to finish out the series. Cole lose their 3rd game in that series, their 5th game in a row to NP, all in one day, and shortly afterwards we get a statement from Complexity. Justin has decided to leave the roster, and moving forward, they'll be working with Valve to figure out what sub they can use moving into the Boston Major. Complexity will be playing at the Beat Invitational this weekend, so we'll see who they decide to bring as a sub and whether or not that sub is who they'll be using for the Boston Major. And to remind you guys, the rules about substitutes. If a player willingly steps down from a roster in favor of the substitute, Valve has no issue with that. So Justin, as the org made it sound, is willingly leaving and giving his spot over to whomever Complexity chooses as a replacement. Cole can choose anybody that has not qualified for the major, so anyone is open game if they want to use them to play at Boston. Now, heading over to the other side of the world, we have another team who has made some roster changes. Team Secret has been experiencing some challenges after their high point of winning Shanghai last year. They went on to lose in Manila, have a lot of roster issues, get last place at TI, and then headed into this season with a fairly promising new roster. Before things could really get underway, we saw a blog come out from Eternal Envy, detailing a lot of issues he had with the captaining style, the payment structure, and kind of the lack of transparency around the organization. Team Secret did have a response post to this over a week later, but a little lacking in detail, leaving us only with Envy's blog providing a lot of the specifics. Now, Team Secret did okay for a little while, placing 4th at MDL out of 8 teams there, fairly respectable showing, taking 1st place in an online tournament and then qualifying for Dota Pit. However, they failed to qualify for the Boston Major, falling a little short. In light of this, Team Secret has announced that Kezu will be replacing Forev in the offlane. In their announcement post, they wish the best of luck to Forev, and it's not entirely clear whether Forev chose to leave and they replaced him with Kezu or vice versa. At this point, we don't know where Forever will be going, and we don't have any announcement from Escape if they have a player lined up to replace Kezu as of yet. Currently, he is on his way to the Asus ROG Masters tournament, where Secret will be playing this weekend, and we can see how this new roster performs. And in other roster news, probably slightly forgotten with all of the Complexity and Secret news that we've had come out recently, Team Liquid is probably undergoing a roster change. They withdrew from the Beat Invitational this weekend, and Beat released a statement indicating that this withdrawal was due to roster changes within Liquid. Additionally, Reddit detectives discovered that Bulba has changed his Twitter handle to no longer include Liquid in the handle. So the current guesses are that Bulba is no longer on Liquid and they will be looking to pick up a new player to replace him. Now, a little bit of comedic relief from the shuffles and everything. Team NP has had a different kind of drama where they really seem to be struggling against the actual institution of Dota with the run-ins with Roshan, Ancients, issues in the pick phase, new heroes in elimination mode. So enjoy the drama with NP versus Dota.
Oh my god! Eternal let me know! Oh god! Roshan, 100 HP.
With level 3 cleave and God Strength, can you do it?
Yes. I'm gonna say.
Boy, he's getting handled.
Ouch! Ow! Oh!
Would Owie
right.
go there,
What
Ben?
about Owie?
They need to get back because they're losing the base pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Well, I
Have
guess
they
we'll
not
just
got
trade
TP?
base.
Oh, they haven't got TPs.
It's Envy.
It's empty.
This is, I actually think this is going to be a tough game.
He meant to ban Pudge. Oh, dear me.
And unfortunately, poor MSS, forced to deal with all of this. Will he survive, especially at this LAN they have coming up? Hopefully we can send in some FYM hot sauce to keep him going through all of these challenges. But great news for the old C9 fans out there. It seems that, their team hasn't completely disappeared. And then the last little bit of news, this is something that I think went fairly unnoticed, but it is an interesting point to note. Warriors Gaming, one of the Southeast Asian teams that qualified, has raised the concern that they will not be getting business class flights to the Boston Major. It seems that no teams are. And due to the long nature of their trip, as well as the fact that they're not able to arrive early because of visa issues, they are concerned about how this will affect their performance. And then also announced today, Na'Vi will be again rebuilding their roster, and it will be around Dendi and General, with the other 3 members of the team departing. Unsure as of yet where these team members will be going, and Na'Vi has not made any announcements about who the new team members will be. That's it for this special episode of TLDR. If you're interested in reading any more about any of these stories or watching the full clips yourself, there is a link in the video description to all of the sources if you'd like to follow up on anything. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys on the next episode of TLDR.